The guiding principle for warriors is that life is a mystery. Now, the way warriors approach the mystery is that they know life is a mystery and they do everything they can to figure it out, knowing that they never will. Now, it may sound paradoxical, but what that does is it gives warriors a direction for their efforts without a final end result, some goal that they can finally arrive at and say, and be distracted by that. This having a direction without a final end has an impact on their attention. Specifically, it takes the attention away from dwelling on the goal and puts it squarely on the journey so they can relax into it, enjoy it, and learn what they need to learn there. Think about it. You can look at your hand and you may think well, a hand is a hand, got 5 fingers, what's the big deal? Like just close my fingers and I can grasp something. But you really don't know like why the hand is like it is, why are there 5 fingers instead of less or more. You don't know what caused it to evolve into this kind of a configuration and what will happen into the future with it. Life is a mystery that way. We have limited ways of perceiving. Think about your body-mind system, your 5 senses. Your sense of sight, for example, you have a blind spot in your eye, where your brain fills in, the gaps of the blind spot, where the optic nerve goes through the retina. You also have a limited bandwidth of light that you can see. Same thing with hearing. You have a limited range of sounds that you can hear. And maybe especially our awareness, like we have limited amount of awareness of what the world is around us. So we have kind of a limited vehicle, you might say, for accessing the mystery, accessing the world. We have this fear of not knowing. And yet when you think about mental training, it's about new perspectives. It's about new information, new awareness. We need that kind of new information, those new experiences to know ourselves better and to know our world better and to know our place in the world better, how we're inextricably interconnected with the world. But the mind wants certainty. And if you're a climber, a simple example of how the mind wants certainty and will create an illusion to give it certainty is, let's say you're climbing on vertical or slightly overhanging terrain, no obstacles, like no ledges. You're in the lead and you have limited falling experience. Your mind goes, well, I'm just going to fall into air, so it's safe. Well, this is illusory. It's not real, because with limited falling experience, you haven't developed the skill of falling, and you don't know the dynamics of how the fall happens, and your belayer probably doesn't know how to give the proper catch, and maybe give you a hard catch that swing into the wall to injure you, or even if that doesn't happen, it could traumatize you because it's too far out of your past experience. And yet the mind creates this certainty through this illusion. So this is a really important aspect of mental training. We need to be wary of this tendency of the mind. So there's value in not knowing. There's value in it. There's so much change going on in the world, so much unknown. Without that, we wouldn't be learning every day. So really, we need to accept that life is a mystery, and that will help keep us open and curious to the learning process, to be engaged in life. It keeps us excited about life. It allows for surprises to happen. We want some surprises in our lives that can bring some joy to us, or sometimes there may be surprises that are, not so comfortable. And yet they happen and they provide the learning opportunities if we choose to act on them. Relax into the not knowing. Learn from it. Enjoy it. So for a practice tip, one thing that I've struggled with a lot is the unexpected. This is the not knowing part, right? So for a practice tip, I've been really working on recognizing when an unexpected event happens. In other words, the first step is to know when an unexpected event happens and say, oh, this is not what I expected. Then number two, to be alert, to apply your attention to it in, this curious, learning-based manner. Accept it, don't resist it. Learn what you can from it, and then move on. Life is a mystery that you'll never figure out, and yet you do everything you can to figure it out, knowing that you never will. Enjoy the journey.